This lesson will help you develop the test-taking skills you need to score well on the ACT exam, particularly how to use the process of elimination to maximize your score. In this lesson, we will discuss how to use process of elimination to increase your chances of selecting the best answer to each question. So, what is the process of elimination? Well, it's a method in which you narrow the answer choices in a way that increases your odds of selecting the best one. Before we go any further, let's be clear about one thing. There is no substitute for mastering the content and skills tested on the ACT exam. And the rest of this website will help you with that. But keep in mind, your goal on the ACT is to select the best answer for each question. While ideally you know which answer is best, your goal is to arrive at the best answer in whatever way you can. So whether you know the best answer from among the 4 choices, or you can simply identify 3 choices that you're confident aren't the best, the end result is you are left with one choice, and that choice is very likely the correct one. Think about the last time you went out to dinner at a new restaurant. You sat down and began to read the big menu, but couldn't decide between all the choices. Instinctively, you probably started to eliminate certain choices. Well, I know I don't like fish, so I'm not ordering from the seafood section, and I'm really hungry, so a salad is out. Gradually, you narrowed your options until you found something you thought you would like. When we go out to dinner, we may not always know exactly what we want when we arrive, but we always know what it is we don't want. The same process can be applied to testing. With process of elimination, we are focusing on what we know to be wrong, then eliminating enough of those choices so we can increase our odds of finding the right choice. Can we always end up at the right choice? Well, probably no more than we can always order the right dinner. But we can increase our odds of making the right choice, both at the restaurant and on the test, if we apply the process of elimination. Of course, there is a logical approach to eliminating certain choices on a test. You don't simply eliminate an answer choice for trivial reasons. While at dinner you might say, oh, I had the lasagna the last time I was here. I think this time I'll get steak. On a test, you would never say, oh, I picked B last time. I think this time I'll go with C. That doesn't work. On the ACT test, you want to apply what you know about the subject to eliminate the choices you know to be wrong. When you do this, you should be left with fewer choices, one of which must be the best choice. The more effectively you can narrow your choices, the more you increase your odds of picking the right one. Let's look at an example similar to one you may see on the English section of the test. In the English section, remember, you are given a passage and then are asked to evaluate parts of the passage based on the word choice, grammar, style, or tone of the passage. In this example, the passage reads, after school, comma, using the website, comma, as a resource, she prepares to study for the ACT, comma, that she is scheduled to take on Saturday. Part of the sentence, school, comma, using the website, comma, as a resource, is underlined, indicating that you are to evaluate that part of the sentence. The answer choices include the following. Choice A, no change, meaning that you believe this part of the sentence is fine and would make no change to it. Choice B suggests changing this part of the sentence to read, school, comma, using the website as a resource, comma. Choice C suggests changing the final comma to a semicolon. And finally, choice D suggests changing it to read, after school using the website, comma, as a resource, comma. Upon first glance, all options may appear appealing to you. But remember, your goal is to apply some knowledge and logic to eliminate choices, not necessarily to find the right choice. So let's do that. Let's apply some logic and see if it doesn't help you eliminate one choice. In this case, listen to how the original sentence sounds as you pause with each comma. After school, using the website, as a resource she prepares to study. Now again, I must repeat, if you want to truly succeed on the ACT, there is no substitute for knowing the proper rules of English grammar or any of the other subject matter tested on it. But common sense tells you there is something wrong with the way this sounds. After school, using the website, as a resource she prepares to study. Right now, you can eliminate choice A because you can be reasonably confident that a change is needed here. And don't just eliminate it, cross it out on your test booklet. That will help you see what you've eliminated. And should you need to revisit this question later, it will help you focus on just the few choices you have left. That alone has just increased your odds of getting this question right from 1 in 4 to 1 in 3. While that doesn't guarantee you'll get it right, it does help. You could then apply the same approach to eliminate choice D. Listen to how this sounds. After school using the website as a resource, she prepares to study. Now, you are down to 2 choices, B and C. You can tell by looking at both that the only difference between them is the use of the comma at the end of choice B and the semicolon in choice C. Here, you can now apply your knowledge of when to use semicolons and conclude that it doesn't belong in this sentence. Doing so would leave you with only one choice, choice B. Fortunately for you, that is the best answer. Now let's examine some common reasons for eliminating choices within the various sections of the ACT test. For English, sound it out, as we did in our example. Sometimes you can eliminate a choice simply because it sounds completely out of place. In math, there are many logical ways to eliminate at least 1 or 2 choices. For example, when multiplying 2 negative numbers, you know the answer must be positive, so eliminate any choices that are negative. Or when finding the slope of a line, you can be sure that any line that is decreasing or going down must have a negative slope. In those cases, rule out any choices that are positive. And if you're a visual person, consider drawing a sketch to help you see a math problem. While a rough sketch or diagram won't ensure you the right answer, it may help you recognize which choices are clearly incorrect because, in this case, they just don't look right. And in science, you can immediately rule out any answer choice that involves a variable that's not used in the specific experiment you are working with. Sometimes answer choices will include variables that aren't even being studied in that specific experiment. And whenever you encounter a scientific graph, you can apply this logic. If there is a clear relationship between the variables, rule out the lines that are perfectly horizontal or perfectly vertical. And when there clearly is no relationship between the variables, you can eliminate lines that are curved or diagonal. Remember, applying these common sense tips to eliminate 1 or 2 answer choices will increase your odds of getting a question right by eliminating those choices you know to be clearly wrong. Okay, let's recap some of the key ideas about process of elimination. First and most importantly, process of elimination alone cannot guarantee success on the ACT exam. You must continue to practice and master the content and skills tested on the ACT. Second, remember that when you use process of elimination, you are not seeking the right answer. Instead, you're applying what you know, or even just some plain old common sense, to eliminate the choices you're pretty sure are wrong. And finally, don't forget to cross out the choices you eliminate in your test booklet. Remember, process of elimination increases your odds of choosing the best answer, which is, of course, the goal.